Welcome back to Miss Amelia J Reactions. Thank you so much for joining me. We are about to start 24 Season 1, Episode 14 already. I am flying through Season 1, and as much as I enjoy this season, I really feel like the intensity and everything that's going on in the show really just gets kicked up a notch the next several seasons. So there's a lot of awesome stuff coming. Most of it, honestly, I remember bits and pieces, but that makes rewatching it even more fun. So before I get into anything else, let me go ahead and do this recap real quick. Alberta Green knows that Jamie was a mole, and that's being investigated. She also knows that Martin Belkin died on the plane. He's now irrelevant at this point, and there is now a second shooter trying to get to David Palmer. David wanted to alert the DA about knowledge she had about Ferragamo's murder, but it seems that his son was implicated. So because these people are trying to frame his son for a murder he had nothing to do with, he's walking away from that, which I kind of understand. We've lost Gaines, which, I mean, he's a bad guy. I guess I'm not supposed to say it that way, but I really enjoyed watching him. I'm sorry. I do kind of want to take back what I said at the end of the last episode, because I said I felt like it was kind of beneath him to pursue death by Jack. I kind of want to walk that back just a little bit, because, yeah, I don't think this is what Gaines ever would have wanted, but he knows either he kills Jack or he gets killed. I kind of just did not like that scene, but overall, I think it did kind of make sense for the character. Kim and Terry have finally been rescued by Jack, and Rick took off because he didn't want to get in trouble. That's pretty much all I've got, so let's get into episode 14.
And this is the longest day of my life. You okay?
Yeah. Who's in this chopper? Just Jack and his family. The prisoners are another transport.
I think some fur got trapped. Sorry if I'm fidgeting. I think some fur got trapped under my makeup or something. That's what it feels like, and it is really itching.
Sweetheart, did something happen there?
No, it's probably just from all the stress, honey.
Well, then call ahead. There's an ambulance waiting for both of you to take you to a clinic where a doctor will examine you. Alberta, it's my wife Terry and my daughter Kim.
Hi.
Thanks, Nina.
The ambulance will take them to the clinic.
It's all right, sweetheart. They just have to debrief me.
You'll be held here and questioned until we hand you over to the FBI.
I want you to watch over Terry and Kim. Make sure they're okay.
Green's got me doing mop-up on the operation.
Get Tony to do it. Just get over to the clinic, please.
All right, I'll take care of it right away.
Okay, the emergency is over. There's only so much that you can expect Nina to do in terms of going against orders. Expecting Nina to go against orders now is unrealistic in my opinion.
I'd like an hour off. Go home, clean up.
Denied.
Come on, Alberta, please. Been through hell today.
One thing I have a great eye for is BS. If you want an hour off, tell me where you're going.
Jack asked me to look after Terry and Kim.
You looking after Jack's wife? Make sure Tony's got everything he needs before you leave.
Okay, so as far as that interaction is concerned, I actually like the fact that Alberta let Nina do what she wanted to do as long as she had the truth. Alberta Green's one of those characters, you're supposed to hate her because she's trying to do things that are different than what Jack's trying to do. But realistically, in terms of how she fulfills her position and how she approaches stuff, I actually really like the character. And as far as Nina's concerned, I get it if Jack feels like there's no one else he can send to check on Terry and Kim, because he does trust Nina, but at the same time, it's a little messed up to send the other woman to go do that.
You heard from Christopher yet?
Yes, but he only had early projections, and those were from New York and Massachusetts.
I want to know if the incident at the breakfast is hurting us. What's on your mind, Sherry?
You've got to go out there today with your best face on. There can be no talk about Keith and no talk about Ferragamo. Ferragamo's death was an accident.
I'm not going to talk about Ferragamo. I'm being blackmailed.
By who?
By
Sherry,
someone
shut
who's
up.
been financing my campaign.
Girl, you don't care.
They're determined to see me in the White House. And if I don't do what they want, they say they can build a first-degree murder case against Keith. For Dr. Ferragamo.
Oh, no. Keith was nowhere near Ferragamo's office today.
Someone planted evidence that could implicate Keith in Ferragamo's
Oh,
death.
no, David, no. Oh, no.
This is what happens when you cover things things up.
Don't preach to me, David, okay?
He tried to tell you were playing a dangerous game, girl. He tried to tell you. I have no patience for her bullshit right now. Mm-mm.
I don't know yet.
Well, does Keith know anything?
No. And he's not going to.
I mean, it sucks, but it's kind of like the other situation. Like, this could come out
must be Terry.
eventually anyways, even if David doesn't tell the DA what he knows. So I feel like Keith should be given a heads up, for sure.
You've been alerted to your abdominal pain. I'd like to get an ultrasound right away. Is there any other discomfort, anything specific you want to tell us before we examine you?
No.
Miss Bauer.
Why is there a window there? For what? Why? That bothers me.
I was raped. Then we're going to need to draw blood and do some tests. And I would like to recommend you to one of our psychiatrists. And that's not necessary. I think it's important for you to take a few minutes and speak to someone.
Well, I'd like to keep this confidential.
The records are private. Only the doctors directly involved have access.
No, I mean from my husband.
I don't really feel comfortable aligning myself with those guys.
You're going to need their states. Just being seen with them will go a long way.
Was there something else you wanted to discuss?
I'm worried this Ferragamo thing is not going to go away.
Did I hear you say something about Dr. Ferragamo?
There was a fire in his office. Keith, I'm sorry. Dr. Ferragamo died.
What's going on? Are you saying that my psychiatrist, Dr. Ferragamo, was involved in this? That he told Maureen Kingsley something I said to him during a session? Is that how this whole story about Lyle Gibson started?
We have to let it go right now.
Let it go. Somebody didn't want him to talk about this because it'll hurt your campaign. What was all the stuff you were saying before about trusting the system?
I do trust the system.
He's being a total hypocrite here from Keith's perspective. Like, what is the harm? I don't understand why he doesn't want Keith to know the truth. Like, Keith is very much involved in this situation, whether he likes it or not. That's just the bottom line, first of all. But second of all, David needs to give a reason for why he's backing off, especially when he's been lecturing Keith for the past 12 hours or so, that we don't do cover-ups when it comes to accidental deaths. And it's not just about David explaining himself and making sure that he makes sense. It's also a matter of Keith being aware of the situation, because just like with the previous situation, it can come up again, and Keith should have the ability to be prepared for that.
Yeah, well, my hind part's on the line. But when it comes to your campaign...
My campaign's been on the line ever since you lied to me about Lyle Gibson.
But somebody murdered Dr. Ferragamo, and they have to pay. He meant something to me.
If there was foul play, I promise you, we'll come forward.
Why can't we come forward now?
Because we can't.
Explain how.
You have to know it.
David's getting on my nerves right now. He about to lose my vote.
Looks like they're bringing in the big guns.
Good to see you. I've got 5 priority cases on my desk this morning. Your name's on each one of them.
We getting all of this on record, Jack. All of it.
At approximately 12:15, I got a phone call from Agent Nina Myers telling me to assemble the team at CTU.
Where's Terry Bauer? Who are you with?
FBI.
CTU. Hi, Kim. We didn't officially meet. I'm Nina Myers. I work with your dad. I want you to know that I'm going to be here until you're done, so if you need anything, I'll be down in the waiting room.
Is he in trouble?
It depends. He broke a few laws last night, but he was doing it to save you and Kim, so I think they'll understand. Well, until we know exactly what happened, we want to take every precaution to keep you safe. When do we get to see my dad? I don't know. A lot of things have to happen first. There are going to be some people who are going to want to talk to you. Division, Secret Service, us.
Yeah, he's with me.
He was in 3 earlier. I'd like to speak with him if that's okay.
Sure, but he wasn't in 3. We just got here.
Who else is here from the Bureau?
It's just the 2 of us.
Did what any loving father would do. Unfortunately, as you know, our procedures don't allow for any deviation from protocol. I can't reinstate you, Jack.
Ryan, have you heard a single thing that I've said? For God's sakes, yes, under the circumstances, I had to break the rules of procedure with CTU to protect my family. But I never deviated from my original assignment, which was to protect Senator Palmer, and you know that.
I know that, and that's what ultimately might keep you from going to prison, but that's not my call. I'll ask Alberta if she wants your help.
She's been here for 4 hours, Ryan.
Keep him company. Yes, sir.
They're handing me over to the Justice Department.
Didn't you explain to them why you did what you did?
Yes, of course I did.
Seemed okay, considering what they've been through.
How much longer do you think they're going to have to stay at the clinic?
A couple of hours, then they'll be transferred for questioning.
Someone had to recruit Jamie. So for now, I think you have to work under the assumption that, yes, someone else is on the inside. Maybe not CTU, district, division, maybe Secret Service. Why? What are you thinking?
I just want to make sure that Terry and Kim are safe here.
Wouldn't they be?
I don't know. I'm just exhausted and probably getting paranoid.
Well, the information that came in about a half an hour ago actually matched what we got from Division's database. Looks like things are finally falling into place.
Give me the headlines.
3 shooters, possibly hired to kill Palmer in case the breakfast attempt failed. No names yet.
Keep looking. If he's connected with the other 2, we need to know where he is and what he's doing.
Kevin!
Get the equipment in the shed. I'll be in to brief you on our exit strategy. Mr. Drazen, when Gaines hired me for this, I told him there were a couple of defects in his plan that could be exploited. Not to say I told you so, but I'm not surprised that any of this happened the way it did. Yes, I can fix it for you.
Interesting. And how can you do that?
I've done this before. I know people.
But as you Americans so often say, Plan B is already in effect.
What does that
What
mean?
Americans often say that.
Hello?
I have a feeling we're about to get another really sick explosion. Goodbye, Kevin.
Are we saying Senator Palmer should stay in for the duration?
No. No, he's got to get out of California now. The backup shooters are in LA and they're going to come after him.
Let me look it over one more time before I do anything. Are you satisfied with your position here?
Sure.
Because I always had the impression you had too much talent to be a number 3 at CTU.
What do you want me to do, Alberta?
See, that's what I like about you, Tony. You get right to the point. Before Chappelle makes his final evaluation of Jack, he's going to want to talk to you.
Why me?
Because you called in the lockdown. And let's face it, Nina is hardly impartial when it comes to Jack, and Chappelle knows that. That even though Jack's family was in danger, there were ways he could have dealt with it without compromising the integrity of CTU.
You're only sort of right.
Alberto.
Chappelle asked me to debrief you personally.
Fine.
I have to tell you, Jack, this is your turf. I feel a little uncomfortable debriefing you.
Oh, it's quite all right.
Why don't you just tell me what you think I need to know?
I went through the timeline events with Chappelle, so...
Do you mind?
No, but before we get started, I need something. I want to be able to phone my wife and daughter. They don't know what's going on with me over here. I want to ease their minds.
Sorry, Jack, I can't do that.
So why don't we dispense with the "are you all right, Jack? I feel uncomfortable" crap. Want to talk straight? Fine. Don't handle me.
Tell me what you know.
First thing you need to do is you need to get a hold of Langley. Have them open up their Balkan terrorist database.
Why the Balkans?
People who are behind the hit on Palmer, being financed by a man named Ted Kofel. He was an investment banker with family connections in that area of Europe.
Was?
He died 3 hours ago.
Tony, I have a problem. 20 minutes ago, a man identified himself to me as FBI, but I know he's lying.
How do you know that?
Because later I met the only 2 FBI agents who were assigned here and they knew nothing about him. No, I don't think it's that. Luke, can you send someone over? I need to pull some prints off a phone.
Sure. Talk to Dad.
And?
And I'm a little confused. Look, all night he's been trying to convince me that it's in this family's best interest to air this thing about Nicole's rape and about the death of Lyle Gibson.
Sweetheart, we don't need to worry about that right now.
No, let's just say we do have to. Look, I know about Dr. Ferragamo. And I know if that fire wasn't an accident, we got to do something about
Hey.
this. But Dad, he wants to keep it quiet.
Don't get yourself worked up.
I am worked up.
Hey,
But covering up an accident is one thing. We're talking about murder. I'm going to the police.
you will do no such thing.
I'm sorry, Mom. I made up my mind.
You will listen to me, Keith.
If you want to go to the police, then you need to just do it. Like, do not tell her what you're doing.
It is not your decision to make.
Can't believe you're saying it.
That's because you don't know
What he
it
does
takes
as a grown-ass
to raise
man?
a family and to keep it safe.
What does this have to do with safe?
It has everything to do with it. Nothing is simple in life. Sometimes you just have to make a decision. That is what we did, and you will respect that. You understand? Have you discussed this with Mike?
Of course. He believes this isn't a call they would make unless the threat was imminent.
I thought you said that the man from the breakfast, Jack Bauer, was already in custody.
He is, but he may not be working alone. There are others.
I told you, as long as my family was in danger, I wanted to keep CTU out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, Tony, Chappelle's ready for you.
As you know, we have an important decision to make pretty soon about Jack Bauer. Whether or not to pursue criminal and disciplinary charges.
Those kind of chairs make me anxious.
I'm not going to lie to you. This may boil down to your testimony, as you seem to be the most impartial direct observer of last night's event.
I'm not the biggest fan of Jack Bauer. I don't agree with the way he delegates authority. And I don't like the way he runs operations. But since midnight last night, you won't get me to disapprove of a single action he's taken.
Fair enough.
It's not about whether you approve or disapprove. It's about whether or not you give them information they can use.
Talk to Nicole.
Yeah, they're taking care of her. They're going to meet us at the airport.
It was the Pentagon. Remember, after the incident at the breakfast, you asked me to check out the name Jack Bauer.
Who is it?
He used to be in Special Forces. Led a 6-man team into Kosovo a couple of years ago.
That's what it was. The Drazen mission.
Only Bauer survived.
Blames me for the loss of his team. That's what this is about.
Patty, can you get this to Mrs. Palmer? I didn't have time to pack it before she left.
Aren't you coming with me?
No, I'm taking a later flight.
Then we shouldn't waste any time.
Anything?
Nothing.
That can't be. I'm sure I saw him holding the phone.
Those prints have been wiped off.
But it doesn't make sense. Housekeeping didn't come in here. This room hasn't been used.
This wasn't housekeeping. There's not a single print anywhere on that phone. This was done by a professional.
Excuse me. Green,
Alberta, it's Nina. I'd like permission to move Terry and Kim Bauer to the safe house now.
are they done there?
Everything but the debrief, and I can do that myself once we're over there and settled in.
Now, the ultrasound showed the remnants of a small follicular cyst.
A cyst?
Yes, it must have burst. That's what caused the pain.
Why did it burst?
Could have been the assault.
Well, I'd like to do a pregnancy test just to rule it out. Okay, Terry, we need to go now. Get your things.
I'm sorry, we're not finished here yet.
Well, the plans have changed. We need to move them.
Something wrong?
We want to get you and Kim to the safe house now.
Kim, come on.
Kim, get your things.
Right now?
Now.
No, Kim, later.
Here's the test I was telling you about. I want you to take it as soon as possible.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Multiple fractures will show up.
They're leaving now.
His name was Theodore traced his finance company here to Los Angeles for money that had been rerouted from the Balkans.
Can I help you, sir?
I'm here to see Jack Bauer.
All right, I really enjoyed that episode. I kind of just had fewer things I wanted to touch on throughout the episode. I kind of try to avoid pausing unnecessarily, and I don't want to talk over the footage if I have like a couple paragraphs to say. So I try to save most of my commentary for the end of the episode. I like the fact that we finally meet Chappelle. He's been referenced a couple of times, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time we're actually seeing him. His demeanor and all of that is definitely not quite as palatable as Alberta Green. Like, as the audience, you're kind of not really supposed to like either one of them. With Alberta, I kind of look at it like, okay, she's just trying to do what her job says. She's trying to follow the rules. She's trying to get things back on track, get this investigation where it needs to be. And I can be on board with all of that, even if I disagree with where she's coming from. But with Chappelle, it's like you already get this vibe that he has it in for Bauer, and the investigation and the facts and all of that are kind of coming second. Another thing, I already kind of touched on this, but when Jack tells Nina to get to the clinic, whether he has Alberta's permission or not, that to me is unreasonable. I liked the way Alberta handled the situation when she was talking to Nina and she got Nina to come clean and then she kind of gave her permission. That's fine. But for Jack to expect Nina to continue to put her job at risk and continue risking getting in trouble, at this point, I think is unrealistic. I kind of see it as a desperate move on his part. I think if there was someone else that he trusted, then he probably would send that person. So I kind of get it if he feels like she's kind of the only one that can do this job, but it still just doesn't seem right to me. I don't remember if it was I don't remember if it was Chappelle or Green who said this, but one of them said that Jack's actions compromise CTU. I would disagree. Not only throughout this whole ordeal, he has made the investigation against Palmer a priority, even with all of the pressure he was under. He broke some rules. He broke protocol. He broke laws. I'm not minimizing any of that, but I don't think it's fair to argue that he compromised CTU. I really liked the part where Almeida told Chappelle that he basically backs Bauer, mainly because at this point, he doesn't have any particular loyalty to Bauer. So there was really no reason for him to go there. There was no reason for him to do that. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not about how he feels or what he thinks. All he can do is give the facts. That being said, as far as the investigation into Jack's actions, it really, how Almeida feels about it or what his opinion is kind of besides the point. But it does, to me, make Almeida's character a lot more likable. I found the scene where Kevin is talking to Drazen interesting, and he says that he's not surprised that Gaines's plan failed. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but I have criticized Gaines's plan from the beginning. There were just a lot of aspects of it that I think were kind of set up for failure, honestly. Unfortunately for Kevin, he put himself in a position where you don't just get all these extra additional opportunities to fix something, to make something right, to get a plan back on track. You fail and you're dead. So while I think there's plenty of things to criticize about Gaines and how he ran his operation, it's almost comical for Kevin to be trying to make that case now. You're not going to save yourself. You're not going to get yourself out of this situation. It is what it is. As far as Keith is concerned, I actually really respect his passion, and I completely agree with his point. Covering up an accidental death, of course, I don't know. I feel like a self-defense death is a little bit different than an accidental death, but covering up either an accidental death or a self-defense death, however you look at it, that is very different than covering up a straight up murder, 100%. And I'm kind of judging Keith a little bit less for the initial incident 7 years ago anyways, because the more we're learning about this character, it seems kind of like Palmer, he's been in a situation where he's manipulated by a lot of people, from his mom to Carl. And now that Ferragamo's been killed, we know there are way more people who are trying to exercise authority over David. I wish David had just told Keith the truth. Was that part of, maybe I need to go back and watch that scene with, that last scene David had with Carl. Was there some type of threat that involved keeping it secret from Keith? I don't know. Because surely there's some other reason he's not telling Keith the truth. And then Sherry, I'm over it. Sherry, please. You want to be in this game. You want to play the game this way, but then you're upset if you have to face the consequences. I have no patience for Sherry at this point. I'm done with her. She is ridiculous. She's a great character. I like what she brings to the show. I really do. But she is something else. Like the way she acted all shocked that they might have planted evidence against Keith. Girl, who did you think you were messing with? Who, like, really? Some of the other characters we've seen, I kind of understand them realizing too late that they got themselves into a situation that's a little bit bigger than they can handle. Sherry Palmer, I feel like, come on, you have the intellect, you have the wherewithal, you have the knowledge. Just stop acting so shocked now that you're on the receiving end. But overall, a really good episode. Really likes the ending there where Palmer shows up to CTU. He is still under the impression that Bauer decided on his own that he wanted to kill Palmer, and now, given the information that he has, he's convinced that Bauer's out to get him because of a mission that went wrong. And Palmer believes that Bauer blames him for the loss of his team. I remember a few plot points in later seasons where Bauer and Palmer are kind of like that. They're on exactly the same page, trying to get the exact same thing done. I remember there are also times where they are kind of at odds with each other. So I feel like their relationship in the show is very interesting. So I am super excited to get to the next episode. Let's check out episode 15.